I get why you're hesitant. You've seen those Fireplace listings with glossy photos and promises of cozy nights, only to find out the thing takes forever to warm up, looks cheap once it's outside, or costs more in propane than you planned. I've spent enough evenings chasing that perfect balance between ambience and actual heat to know how easy it is to pick the wrong one. If you're shopping for a propane fireplace that's supposed to look like a traditional wood-burning unit but still give off real warmth without the mess, the Empire OP42FP32MN Carol Rose might be worth a look. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. What sold me on this model is how it splits the difference between style and function. The Carol Rose is one of those fireplaces that uses realistic logs and Emberglow technology, so it doesn't scream fake the way some cheap units do. That matters if you're putting it on a patio or under a pergola where people will actually sit close enough to notice the details. The stainless housing helps it hold up against the elements, but don't expect it to look brand new after a few seasons. If you live in a salty or humid climate, stainless scratches and can dull over time, especially if you're not wiping it down after rain. The burner setup is straightforward once you get past the initial install. You're looking at a standing pilot, which means it's always ready to light without fumbling with electronic ignition every time. That's a small convenience, but it adds up when you're outside after dark and just want the flames on without extra steps. The 42-inch width gives you a broad flame picture, so it fills a good portion of the view without overwhelming a medium-sized outdoor space. If your seating area is more than about 10 feet away, you might find the heat output a bit modest for chilly evenings, especially if the wind picks up. It's rated for spaces up to roughly 1,000 cubic feet, but real-world warmth drops fast once you're outside that range. Speaking of heat, the practical strength here is the adjustable flame height. You can dial it down for mood lighting or crank it up when you actually need warmth. That flexibility is nice if you're using it as a primary heat source in shoulder seasons or just as a secondary boost on cooler nights. The downside is that propane consumption climbs quickly at higher settings, so your tank will drain faster than you might expect. If you're used to a natural gas line, this unit isn't for you. It's strictly propane, and you'll need to plan for tank swaps or refills depending on how often you run it. Setup isn't as plug-and-play as some newer electric units, but it's still manageable if you're comfortable with basic gas line connections and securing a propane tank. The manual walks you through clearances and clearances from combustibles, which is crucial because outdoor fireplaces can get surprisingly hot on the sides. One thing that caught me off guard is the lack of a built-in shut-off valve on the unit itself. You're relying on the tank valve or a separate remote if you want to turn it off without walking over. If you're the type who likes to control everything from your seat, that's a minor inconvenience worth noting. Where this fireplace really shines is in spaces where you want the look of a wood fire without the cleanup. No ashes, no soot, and no chopping wood at the end of the day. That convenience is worth the propane cost if you're using it regularly. On the flip side, if you're someone who loves the crackle and smell of real wood, this won't scratch that itch. The ember bed is convincing, but it's still a gas flame, and anyone who's spent time around campfires will notice the difference. So who should buy this? If you're in a moderate climate, have a covered outdoor area, and want a fireplace that looks elegant without the hassle of wood, this is a solid choice. It's especially good for patios, sunrooms, or poolside areas where you'll be within a few feet of the flames. If you live in a region with harsh winters or plan to use it as your main heat source in colder months, you might want something with a higher BTU output or consider pairing it with a portable heater. Who should skip it? If you're looking for a quick DIY install with minimal tools, this isn't it. You'll need some gas fitting experience or a pro to handle the hookup safely. Also, if your outdoor space is large or exposed to wind, the heat output might not be enough to make it worthwhile. And if you're dead set on the wood-burning experience, save your money for a fire pit instead. Bottom line, the Empire OP42FP32MN Carol Rose delivers on its promise of a traditional-looking fireplace that's practical for outdoor use. It's not perfect, but the trade-offs are clear.